Charlotte, and you are watching The Ugly Atheist. I was trying to do a reaction video for this particular one, but was having technical difficulties. I'm just going to spend a few minutes ranting, I guess, not about that technical difficulties, but just about living in Los Angeles. So this will be a shorter video, I guess, in that regard, but I'm getting less and less excited, let's say, about living here in Hollywood. I had a doctor's appointment last Thursday, somewhere, and as I was leaving the medical building, I saw a bunch of people with their faces pressed against the window looking out, and I did not know at first what they were doing, so I just opened the door and walked outside, and I saw what they were all looking at. There was this crazy guy with a giant stick bashing in the windshield of some car parked outside, and he seemed to be singly focused on that one vehicle. Thankfully, he wasn't like on some kind of rampage, but he was sort of just staring off in different directions, so you could tell he was on some kind of mind-altering substance if he wasn't like have a mental illness, or could be both. Could have had a mental illness and been on some mind-altering substance. But I didn't feel that afraid, but then so I started walking because I had to walk past him sort of to get to my car where I was parked. So I started walking in the direction of my car, hoping that he would be, preoccupied with bashing in that window. And there was another driver out there, this big guy, who was yelling at him, saying, "You better not come after my car." And the guy with the stick was just shouting something incoherent. And so I was trying to walk towards my car, and then I saw the guy with the stick. He just kind of was, he'd walk in one direction, quickly change directions, go in another direction. And then it looked like at one point he was coming towards me. And so I kind of stopped, and it looked like he was still walking towards me with this stick. So I kind of went between two parked cars, and then he said something to somebody, maybe to nobody, and changed directions again. And by that time, I was able to get back into the building, and there was a security person there, this woman who I don't think she could have done much unless she had a taser or something, like if he had decided to come up into the building also. But he'd walk down the street and walk back, and then I was wondering, like, all these people pressed up against the window watching, and none of them stopped me from going out there. I thought it was kind of funny, like maybe they were curious, well, let's see what happens to this person. Let her go out there and confront this guy or interact with this guy. The security guard was kind of shouting at some other people to get back into the building. And there was, fortunately, a back exit to this medical building where it was closer to where my car was actually parked anyway, so I kind of snuck out that way. I had to take an elevator to go that way. The police finally came, and the guy with the stick kind of meandered off into some parking garage, and I don't know what happened after that. I just took off because I had to get to work. So that kind of left an interesting taste in my mouth the whole rest of that day. And then today, fast forward to Sunday, I was grocery shopping at Avon's on Sunset Boulevard, and I paid for my groceries, and as I was walking out, there was some heated confrontation between this homeless shoplifter guy trying to get beer and the security people, and there was some shoving and some pushing, and I was walking out the door with my cart, and this guy left the scuffle, this homeless shoplifter guy, and he started walking after me, and he was saying something like, "Yeah, you turn around. Yeah, yeah." He was saying something like, I don't remember what he was saying, but something about turning around. So I kind of took my cart and veered off in a different direction, and he was swearing and something, and he smelled like beer because he was trying to steal a beer, and apparently he had slammed the beers he was trying to steal onto the ground, and they broke and started squirting everywhere. And I guess that homeless shoplifter guy was just uncomfortably close to me. He was like walking right behind me, and I had no idea what he was going to do. But fortunately, he veered off to the right and kind of muttered to himself, looking back towards the supermarket, and just continued off the parking lot. So that was two sort of scary, close calls in the span of about a week. And I don't think it's going to be the last of my near encounters. So I'm just saying all that to say that living out here in Hollywood is not, it's getting a little bit not comfortable for me. Fortunately, I work down in Huntington Beach, Orange County, so maybe I can just try to get a studio apartment or something down there, and it's a little bit safer. I know Westminster's got some homeless issues as well. It's not necessarily the homeless that I'm concerned about. It's the people who are kind of out of their minds and semi-violent. I know some people are probably used to that kind of thing, but I'm not one of those kind of people. I feel like a lot of cities that are run by Democrats seem to be rife with a lot of this kind of crossover between normal citizens and violent, deranged people. And the police don't seem to be doing too much to stop this kind of a thing. I think you can tell how engaged a police force is by the ornate level of graffiti that you see everywhere. If the police force is super engaged, for example, you might see the graffiti will just look like simple black lines, sprayed in haste and very sparse. But when you see full-on murals, multicolored, with amazing, beautiful detail, that cops don't give a shit about doing their job and stopping these people, because they clearly have the time to bust out their paint palettes and their brushes and spray cans and an entire case of colors and spray, just create masterpieces on the overpasses and underpass walls. It's beautiful work. I can't lie. It looks great, but it's just one of many telltale signs that your city is run by Democrats, and that the police force is either corrupt, disengaged, or both. So now we'll go on to the part of the show called What I Learned This Week. For those of you who don't know, this is the portion of the show where I talk about something random that I learned this week that is not necessarily pertaining to the main topic of the video. Usually it's something that I might have known before but just had forgotten, or some new information that I thought, wow, that's kind of neat. So today's What I Learned This Week is regarding the difference between coriander and cilantro. Did not know that they were related. In fact, they are the same plant. It is from the scientific name of the parsley, the cilantro plant is Coriandrum sativum. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But what's unusual about this plant, So the coriander is the seed portion, and the cilantro is the leafy portion. But the entire plant is edible from its roots to leaves, stems, seeds. It's fairly rich in vitamin A, which is good for many things. Vitamin A is good for many things, including your eyesight. I went ahead and purchased some cilantro, but I wonder if there's any place that sells the entire plant. But if you want to access the seeds and use them for cooking, you would have to dry the whole plant out first, and then there's a process where you grind or crush the seeds down, separate out the stems, and sift them, and kind of refine it down to the usable part. But again, it's all usable, but it's just probably a matter of texture, where some people don't like to have a lot of twigs and stems in their coriander. But it's supposed to be good for cleansing your blood as well. So if you have blood sugar issues, and it helps you deal with keeping your blood sugar levels stable. I don't know how effective it is at doing that. I mean, people say different herbs are good at all kinds of stuff, but I think it might just be marginally so. If it made a big impact, people would be, like, medical professionals would be using it as medication. But so I kind of look at a lot of these claims about what different herbs do with a little bit of skepticism. But if it helps even the tiniest bit, that's great. So yeah, that was just a really cool thing to learn this week. Anyway, I am Charlotte, and you've been watching The Ugly Atheist. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, or leave a comment. I know I have like 0 to 1 viewers. Well, maybe more viewers, but 0 to 3 followers? I don't know. But that's probably a good thing, because I don't have my SHIT together with these videos anyway. I'm not a polished speaker, and these are probably super boring. And I think with time, though, I'll hopefully get better and start producing some better content. But I appreciate your patience in the meantime. Have a good day.